welcome back. Here we are. What a freaking tribal, you guys. That was so much fun to watch in person. Devastated, literally gutted to my core to see Dan go after being such a savage. Like, having the guts to publicly do that. Like, right, like, he didn't have to own up to taking that advantage. He could have just been like, sat there in silence with everybody else. But he literally was like, no, I haven't, and I'm not giving it back to you. That was just amazing. Like, also kind of gutted for Paul too. The fact that like he had this advantage, obviously got it for, you know, picking the winningest tribe of reward day, and to lose an advantage in this game, oh my gosh, I think he would have kicked himself forever if he had gone home with that tribal.
From John of actually stripping completely down low.
Yes, literally. It was just, I can't imagine, as someone who had a fake idol in her possession when she went out, not knowing it was a fake idol. I thought it was a real idol. No one made the fake idol, for the record. It was just the game tricked me into thinking it was real. I kicked myself for days until I found out it wasn't real. So going out, like, losing an advantage, I can only imagine. Like, you know this thing is real. You got the parchment to go along with it. Oh, I'm so happy for Paul that he like has that second redemption, but I'm so sad for Dan because he just, Dan was playing so well.
Power move. If he had been able to stay in, like, jumped in the resume.
Absolutely.
And as we mentioned at the end of that tribal, line drawn. There is
clearly
a clear line of where people are trying to work with, and I'm very interested. This next immunity, I think, is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because we had, right, obviously 13 people in that vote. Yeah. Now we're down to 12, and 7-6, that was, it seemed to be what the divide was there. Yeah. So now it's a 7-5. So that minority, I think, depending on, you know, how it goes, might end up getting pagonged pretty quickly. Pagonged being a word that could be incorrect depending on the group of people that are working together. If it's a, you know, weird combination of all the tribes, or if it's maybe just that Strawberry Lemonade Alliance, I almost yelled that we talked about yesterday, that could still be in play, unsure. But yeah, there's so many ways that this could go, and I think that members of that 5-person minority are probably going to be scrambling for this immunity right now. Little do they know, this immunity is actually,
what is that?
Somewhat of a team immunity challenge. So we took a page out of Survivor 41 through 46's playbook, and we have a team immunity challenge at the final 12, where a group of them are going to win immunity together and be safe at an individual tribal council. So one person's going to go home, but a group of them are going to be safe. So I'm really excited to see what these groups end up being, because they will be randomly chosen right now. And John's introducing the challenge.
They're not individual immunity.
I will say there were 2 throne votes, so one was thrown on Ali and one was thrown on Griffin. So, you know.
I guess it was a 5-5 of those 2 rogues.
The 2 winning groups will be immune at the next tribal council. All 4 of the losers will be eligible to be voted for, and only then. They will also be voting at tribal council. So we're going to get that out of the way.
So 2 winning groups. 2 winning groups. That means 8 of the 12 people will be immune. 4 of them are going to be eligible to be voted out.
Everyone can vote, which is exciting.
Oh my gosh. Just, if you are one of those 4, you're going to be terrified. Terrified.
And I can bet Paul is wanting to be one of the 2 groups that are immune, probably.
Yeah. Catching all those votes. If he is in the immune group, I am not sure he's going to make it.
Let's
see this breakdown.
Just use them to sort yourself.
John says, don't bother unrolling them. What does Luke M do? Unrolled it. I thought he was literally untying the twine. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting dynamic.
Here we go. We have our 4 groups are Paul, Nicole, Haley, and
Way back, Evan will tell you
Leah, question mark? John keeps moving my way. And Leah. Our second group is Ali, Griffin, Ned, and KP. And our third group is Luke M, Val, Declan, and Luke R. Those Lukes do end up hanging out together just by random chance. They are always in the same group, I feel like.
Gods want them to be together.
Truly.
I think.
Thank you so much.
Depending on what the challenge is, it's going to be really interesting, because they do have to maneuver up these very large wooden balance beams, as you can see. So having a smaller person on your tribe like Nicole, I think, will be really helpful. And obviously John's going to explain the challenge, so I'm going to let him do that.
Work their way across the beam to the far end. At the start, you're going to start at your steps. You're going to grab one block. Your 3 other people are going to be holding this platform for you as you climb on. You're going to work your way down. At the end of each of the 3 platforms, there's a painted section. You're going to place your block in that painted section, work your way back. While that's happening, one of the people here is going to put your second block into the painted extra section on this side. That's the only time that these people here are allowed to touch these blocks. You're not allowed to do any ordering ahead of time. So you're going to make that trip until you have all 6 of these blocks stacked within that zone on the end. If they fall at any time, you're coming back. If you have a block with you, it's going back. Our spotters will bring all the blocks that had fallen and put them back here. You'll have to restack those before you can progress forward again. Once you have all 6 of your blocks and we tell you it's good, you're going to have to reorder them to spell words on each side of the 4 columns of the block. That'll be the last step. Once we tell you that's good, the person out there has to work their way back to the middle, touch any part of the metal pole in the center for a 3 count. We'll say it's good. First 2 groups to finish, immune. Third group, all 4 of you are eligible to go to
so
the next round.
while they are strategizing this unhinged challenge, I'm going to recap it for you because holy heck. So basically they're going to assign one member of their group to be hanging out on this giant wooden teeter-totter. They're going to take the blocks one at a time and they're going to bring them to the other end of the teeter-totter. Obviously, you know, it's going to be leveled out with the other 3 people in their group holding the teeter-totter to keep it steady. The person on the teeter-totter is going to have to make their way back and forth until they get all 6 cubes. At the far end of the teeter-totter, you can see that like kind of painted section up here. That's where the cubes have to be sitting. So once they get all 6 down to the other end, with again the 3 teammates holding this end to make sure it stays level and steady, once they do that, the person on the teeter-totter has to rearrange all 6 of the cubes to spell a word on every side of the cube. So not only do they have to get the cubes down there, they have to figure out what the heck they're spelling over there, Wordle baby, and then they have to make their way after they get the correct combination of cubes up here. They have to make their way back to the middle of the teeter-totter, touch the metal thing for a 3 count. If at any time the cubes fall, they're going to have to start over basically at the thing at the start. The players who are holding the teeter-totter cannot move the cubes at all. They can try and figure out what the word is, but they cannot touch the cubes unless they're specifically placing one on the far end for the person moving across. This is a very impressive setup. Yeah, I think this is the 2nd time we've used these teeter-totters. We used them a couple seasons ago. And we had an acrobat that season, so she excelled in that challenge. Everyone else struggled a bit, but it was really, really cool to see. So I am so excited for this challenge. I'm going to go in front of Maddie really fast so I'm out of her way, and I cannot wait to see how this goes. I'm very curious to see who goes up on the teeter-totter for each tribe, because it's going to be a big old hero challenge right here. You are the maker and breaker for your tribe.
And I thought spelling just immunity was hard, so the fact that they have to spell 4 words essentially.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if it's all the same word or if they're all different words, because I actually don't know. It looks like they're...
Sorry. Yep.
No, I also
That was my fault.
and I'll try to get to the middle. Adjusted for
Yeah, we have made them a little bit, there's less give in the teeter-totters now, for sure. So, if you can see, I actually, for some reason in my brain, I was like, oh, the teeter-totter's slow, low to the ground. It's not. It's a good, like, Lon, will you go stand next to the teeter-totter for a height experience? Lon's very tall.
Lon, how tall are you?
6'5".
He's 6'5", and it's at his shoulder. So, it's about 6 feet off the ground. No, your head's more than 5 inches tall. That's not the point. But it's very high off the ground. It's probably about at my eye height, and I'm 5'6", so I know. I'm also thinking that, and I'm wondering, in that comment real quick, I am really surprised that Nicole's not doing this, honestly. Maybe she doesn't feel comfortable with the balancing aspect of it, especially considering that Nicole is, wow, Haley's not even up yet. Val is walking on it. And Ned lost a cube. So again, they have to stack 6 cubes on the end.
So they're realizing very quickly they can't.
It'll be wobbly, but we have you.
You can't run on this, yeah. Ned though, flex. Val, getting there. I'm really worried about this far tribe. I am really, really surprised.
IUBW.
Stay low now.
Different tactics.
You got your next block up, Haley. Okay.
a sidewalk, a front sprint, actually. Ned did not understand. That's the thing, I get it. You're in game mode, you're trying to instantly strategize the second you see the challenge, but you gotta listen to the rules, man. You gotta listen to the rules. We've already had a couple people breaking them. Declan looked at a cube early, Ned didn't stack them. Wow, they're struggling. You can see how hard they're working in this bar tribe right here. Yeah, Ali's really working. And you have to switch it too. Like, it's not like once Ned comes back this way, first they're pushing it down to counterbalance his weight the opposite way. Then they're pushing it up because his weight is going on the far end. So it's like you're constantly counterbalancing what the weight is. We got Val placing her second cube. Kaylee placed her second cube. Ned has 3 cubes placed. I am very impressed by that bar team and the ability to how much they're counterbalancing with how quick Ned is moving. He's moving so much faster than the other two.
I would say the Lukes are probably locked in for keeping the most stable. I will say the other parts are really focused on that kind of
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And this wind is going to play a factor. It's already very windy, and
yeah, also crazy that Declan is literally just placing the cubes.
he's not
Like,
trying to fill here.
the Lukes are absolutely the ones holding that up for Val.
Declan's not even touching it.
Yeah, Declan's literally just standing there. Like, that is something to say that if you paired Ned with the Lukes, this challenge would be over already. Like, if you had Ned sprinting with the Luke's strength right now, I'm very impressed. Oh gosh. Okay, Val is really inching now. I think she got a little bit nervous standing up there. And Kaylee has now sped up. So we see Ned slow down because he has 5 cubes placed. I think they realize they have a little bit of a lead, so he's trying to slow down. Val is really taking her time, and it might be, you know, a detriment in this challenge. You gotta go quick, but also you're 6 feet off the ground. I don't blame you for going slow.
Words that I recognize in the alphabet yet.
Yeah, we have
In the dictionary.
I think it's going to be tough because there are different letters on every side. It's 4 different words, and it's a 6-letter word. Oh no, vowels are not safe. Val's cubes are in a teetering tower. Those are almost certainly going to fall. I'm worried. Yep, so we have 5 cubes over there. Kaylee's tower isn't perfectly stacked, but not terrible. Ned has all 6 cubes back there. He is trying to solve the
Kaylee's
word
got her
puzzle.
6th and final block for her group. She's headed out.
So now I solve. Make it come back here. It's going to come down to who can solve their word fastest. I'm going to give you guys a vertical with all of them. You can try and figure out what that word is, because I certainly don't know.
Ned's working on solving the the words on the sides of the block. Kaylee.
Alright, so Paul's trying to help from afar. Ned is trying to...
All sides.
Do you have any 6-letter words in mind?
Ned says, someone name a 6-letter word. You guys ever seen Billy Eichner on the street? Name a woman for $1. Ned, name a 6-letter word for $1.
Yeah, we're cool. Okay, so find a block that has a I next to its M, where the M can go under the I.
So it sounds like Kaylee was telling a lot of words back to her, a lot of letters back to her tribe so that they can help. I think Ned is taking a more of a solo approach. He's like, hey, give me a word. Kaylee's like, hey, here are the letters I have.
No, hold on. Give me the W. I got it.
Oh my gosh.
Go to the middle. You have to touch the middle. Go to the middle. Keep it steady. You're going to have to touch. That's good. He's got to get back to the middle.
Ned has the word. He just has to touch the middle.
For a 3 count.
If it stays and he touches the middle, this challenge is over.
It's wobbly. Stop talking.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. His tribe was like, you need to slow down, chill out. So now,
Lay down flat.
Kaylee, you can lay down flat. Right.
if Kaylee can get this in time, Val is out of this challenge. They have way too many cubes left. Ned literally just has to touch the metal.
2, 3, you're good. First group wins
Amazing job by that. Very impressive. Very impressive.
So much there, man. I know.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Gosh, the 2 groups get it. Okay. I thought we were done. Alrighty.
Trying to figure out.
Something's wrong.
It's outwit tribal, so there's multiple I's and A's, I think.
So Kaylee has all 6 cubes. She's working on it here. We have Val placing 1 cube, 2 cubes, and 3rd cube.
So the W,
in her
the
shirt.
WB goes on top of the IA that are next to each other, okay? And then see if that makes sense with all the
3
other ones.
cubes in, but again, Val is placing the cubes on their side. Got it. And they have
Good, you gotta get back to the center. Touch the metal pole for a 3 count.
You got it, Kaylee.
Do I have plenty of time?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Steady.
We're good, girl.
And don't just let go when she gets there either, okay?
Yep, no,
Yeah,
no.
we're hanging on. Don't
It's
worry.
a 5 count, right, John? Great, thank you. 3 count, even better.
3 count and then crawl your way back and then we'll let go.
She has to touch the last block for it to start.
The pole. The metal pole.
Touch the pole. So just touch the pole, girl.
You got it. Right there. Touch it.
Touch the pole, please.
1, 2, 3, you're good.
Don't drop her. Go next.
Come back, girl.
Come back.
that. Very impressive. That is a hard challenge. That is a really hard challenge.
And unfortunately, they never got more than 3 blocks.
Yeah, that far team did definitely struggle with this challenge. Yep, 2 groups are immune, 1 group is vulnerable, all of them go to tribal, all of them vote, but we are only going to see votes for 4 potential people. Luke M, Luke R, Val, and Declan. One of them will be going home at final 12, and I'm going to right now, they will not be a member of the jury. So John was vicious this season. I say John, it was a combined effort, but vicious this season, and unfortunately the first 2 members voted out of the merge are not going to become members of the jury. So it's going to be a toughie. It's going to be a really sad vote out because you worked so hard to get here. You're on the 4th day, and not making jury is just going to be, I think, really gut-wrenching for our friends that it applies to.
And the way that this was split up, you could have been sitting pretty, but then how the bandana's tossed, you got put in a situation where we don't know what these dynamics are. I don't know who's working with who, how these groups were split up, so that 4 could be a whole alliance.
I am really interested to know, right, what if all 4 of those people voted together last tribal council? So Luke, Declan, Val, like all of them could be working together. Now, the entire minority from last vote could be immune for all we know. And that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles in Survivor. You have to always be prepared for any kind of twist, especially at the early merge. There's almost always a twist that kind of shakes a wrench in the game because it's so easy when you get into the merge to just go in our majority alliance that's formed with maybe 2 of the stronger tribes or something like that, just takes out and demolishes the other one, or one tribe that comes in with majority, you know, it's just, that's a very common theme of Survivor. So there's usually some kind of challenge that, or twist, that really shakes that part of the game up to ensure that we have an exciting jury portion of the game. But with last tribal, honestly, I'm not worried about having an exciting last couple days. I think it's going to be pretty fun. So
you know who's excited that they're immune? Paul,
yeah, I think definitely seeing him win immunity, like big weight off his shoulders.
Smoke off his back.
A little bit of extra time too, because we mentioned it a lot yesterday. In survival challenge, you get 15 minutes maybe in between the challenge and the vote. So you don't get a lot of time. Like, they just voted out Dan, right? Now it's like, okay, Paul's the easy vote. He already caught a bunch of votes. Why don't we just go for him next? But him being immune now is going to force everybody to reevaluate, scramble, figure out a new plan, because I think maybe he was just going to be the easy vote to take out next. We really don't know. But alrighty. Yeah, we do love a good wrench shake. So we're going to cut the stream and go ahead and head over to Tribal Council, get everything set up over there. So we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Huzzah.